Okay, welcome once again to Options Trading Pilot. We're going to do a review today, just to kind of go over some of the details of where the market's at. Yesterday, Powell was pretty good about saying that we're going to drop interest rates 3 times next year. Hence, the big push to the upside. The question is where we're going from there. So let's take a look at SPY, like we always do. You can see like how far up we are, and if we go back and look at the last, let's say, 10 years, all-time highs. We've never been this high, right? We broke through this down movement, and we haven't really looked back from there. There's another move here. This all-time high is really good. I would expect a move to the lower side here, but that's just to get a lower a higher low, so then we can move to the upside a little bit more, just given the fact that everything's so far positive, but we can't just go up in a straight line like we have been. And if you can see, we went from 409 to the current price of 470, which is kind of amazing. But nonetheless, I hope you participated on that move to the upside. And so let's go back to the filter chart here. There you go. Doesn't look so heavy. So this is the daily view. I like looking at the weekly view just to kind of get a sense of where we're at. You can see where we really are moving to the upside. If you look at other times where we moved to the upside, we went sideways for a while. Here we went down. So this is the last time we reached the high. The other time we reached the high was here. What was that? January, it looks like. And then we just came down after that. So it hit 457. We're finally over 457. So in the end, it's like what I'm trying to say here is that we should anticipate hit a high, maybe move a little higher and then come down. Seasonality is a positive at this point. And so we have to be kind of have our eyes open to see what may happen here, but I anticipate a little pullback and then a go, right? So I think that overall we should see a week or two, maybe even 3 of sideways movement, and then move to the upside. Nonetheless, we're going to follow our strategies in order to gain a better foothold of what's going on. This is the monthly view, as you can see. Really things don't look as dire, right, when we look at the monthly. So each one of these bars is 1 month. That's kind of done for the reason to kind of gain perspective. So as you can see, the daily bars today's been really interesting because we are getting a little bit of a move back down, but we'll see where we end the day. I feel like we're gonna go in range. So knowing this, so how do we operate? Well, I would be careful here adding anything that moves to the upside. We are at an edge, and this is an all-time high. And so every time we've hit an all-time high, we do come down some. So again, I would be very cautious. I'll probably be trimming or be quick to pull the trigger to get out of different positions. And so that would be my goal at this point. But how do we know to stay heavy? Well, it's like I say, you can use your moving averages. That's pretty effective. The entry here on this 513 was all the way down here, like 427. You'd get this gap up. You can go earlier given the structure here, and you don't have to wait for the crossover. You could probably go in after this rejection here and probably start here and just be cautious. But you would have won heavy, right? Because you get in a little lower price. I ended up getting in somewhere around here in the 418s, and I've ridden it this whole way. We're respecting our moving averages. We're respecting the levels. I thought about moving out on this candle right here. If you can see, like this candle right here, that was on December 6th. That almost got me to get out. But if you look, I think we talked a little bit about the sideways movement and how this could be deemed sort of like a double. I think is Wyckoff schematic number 2 for accumulation. And so that's kind of how I interpreted it. We went up, it hit came back up, it hit again, and then usually we get sideways movement, then we get to the explosion, but here we got to the explosion fast. So this is clearly an up move. You could say a phase 2 if you're looking at Weinstein. So this phase 2 movement, what's interesting, there's really no basing, right? So there's no phase 1. It's just we moved from what seems to be like a phase 3 or not phase 3, phase 4, and then directly to the upside. So obviously all those things are just guidelines for us to use, but in the end, when we see accumulation like we see here, the little accumulation here, a little accumulation here, and we need to be paying attention to see what's going on in that position. So again, not usual to see it move up and then stay straight down. Here we saw straight down, move up. Here we saw a little bit of sideways movement and move up, sideways movement, move down. So we do anticipate the greater chance of things happening or moving sideways here. So that being said, let's take a look at our scripts that I like. I thought it was interesting. If you run the bearish scan, we get one result, which is Verizon. But Verizon is up today. So this measures yesterday's close. So just be aware of that. And then if we look at the bullish scan, then you start to see that there's more. So that indicates to me that the upside is very strong. So again, I wouldn't be cutting right now. You could and take some profits. I know some of the ones that we like AMD. It's actually down for the day if I recall. Which is interesting, right? Because it made a move to like almost 142, is now almost 137. So that's AMD. Let's take a look at AMD. This is not part of this list, but we're going to cover it here real quick. So AMD was on a down slide, and then we got this huge move to the upside. And so again, it's one of those that if you enter over here 97, I did enter at around, I think it was 96 is when I entered. So I've held it since then. I was obviously thinking that I did cut right here some of my holdings, unfortunately, and then missed some of that. But I'm still holding a pretty nice sum of AMD. And then the other one, I know we haven't talked about it, but Square. I mean, that's a freight train right now. Maybe too late to get into this move. Yeah, so since I entered, I'm up 60.7%. The one I did miss largely was Coin. I was basing out. I got the signal. Not sure why I didn't enter. Just I was gone for a while. Yeah, this behooves me. This is a clear entry. You know, we have phase 2. Went into immediately into phase 4, which is a downside. This is a phase 1, and then here we go phase 2 again. So very difficult. I am in. I did buy some, just not heavy. I'm only up like 6.9% on that. But anyway, this is a good review. Let's go back a little bit to look at this list so you get a feel for maybe potential ideas. I like to do the safe list because it allows me the option to do a candle glance view real quickly. And as you can see, yeah, I'm just kind of, it's interesting to me to see that it's this color. I had maybe some update happen, but nonetheless, you can clearly see what's going on. Sideways movement up. Maybe this is closing this gap. That might be interesting. Oh, but it's rejecting it. It's worth an entry because it's gaps usually want to be filled, right? So question is it happening now? It did start to go, and then it kind of came back here. So we're at 238.78 and the gap closes at 252. My downside, you could get out right here. So it's like, yeah, that's worth looking at. So I might do some BDX. Other ones, let's see. Here's another gap. Dollar General. Using this gap, it rejected. See, is what I'm afraid that BDX might do. So we're at this 137 is currently 130. 513 just closed. It's down for the day. So DG and BDX are interesting to me. Again, just so you guys know, this is like for entertainment, and so yeah, kind of have an understanding what the markets are doing. Let's see if there's other interesting ones. This is another one really trying. Oh, Sedge, solar energy. Oh, look, it's gone sideways and now it's moved to the top. That gap is over here to 114. Is currently at 94. Pretty aggressively up at 14%. Might see a little pullback. So if we see a pullback to about 90 tomorrow, that would be quite interesting. I'm going to set an alarm for that. Okay. Sedge. Volume is nice on that. Alarm 490. Okay. And then let's take a look at something else. Wirehousers really going gangbusters here. Really broke out of this base. I would probably not touch it because it's hitting this previous level. It might go sideways here. Here it already closed the gap. Yeah, I think those are the three. Well looks interesting. It's rejecting that, that top side. Yeah, maybe not. Let's take a look real quick. Yeah, I just want to give you an idea of like some of the things that we look at and how we look at them. I haven't, before I do anything, I really have to look at what the fundamentals are. If they're not growth, you can see here that potentially it might bounce off this line and go up. Many ifs on that. I'm going to pass on that one. Okay, so real quickly, let's take a look at, I like to go to the free sites because most people have access to those. So we said BDX. Back then, this historical data. Here we go. Look, we had this positive down and now we're up. Gross profit margin, about stable. Operating income going up. Let's look at this balance sheet. Total assets divided by total debt. Pretty favorable. And cash flow from operations. Then what I like about that is operating cash flow. It's just 2021 was difficult to gauge. So I would give it a C on this one, but interesting. And then DG, I'm running long here, so I'm gonna cut it at DG. DG operating cash flow was really heavy up, came down, and now it's up. That that gets a minus on that. Total assets are nicely up. Debt 50%, that's okay. And the revenue is up. That's nice. Okay, this might be a better chance than BDX. All right, and lastly, let's real quick, Sedge. I'm just not a big proponent of solar companies affected by too much government intervention, but look at these numbers. That's nice. Very big increase on revenue, balance sheet, 4.2 versus, oh, very nice. And then that cash flow from operations. Yeah, weird, right? This is very weird. Yeah, I think I'll pass on this. All right, guys. Well, I hope that helps. And I'll be putting out more videos, and come visit us at Options Trading Pilot.